Welcome back to another episode of Talkin' Nerdy. This is your host, Justin. I'm riding solo today. No Colby, you get me. That's okay. Season 3 of The Witcher wrapped up. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, this is probably going to be spoilers, but it's really just kind of a rant. This is the last season that we're going to see Henry Cavill in, right? So everybody who's a Witcher fan, at least I did, I was hoping for a lot, knowing that this is the last season. And I know they're not ending on, they're ending on bad blood, essentially, right? Anybody who follows it and knows that Henry Cavill didn't agree with a lot of the director's choices and writing choices moving forward, that they deviated away from the game too much. And if you really know Henry Cavill, you know that he is a diehard Witcher fan, which is why he wanted to be this role. So I get it. Whatever. You're not going to make everybody happy. It sucks to see Henry Cavill go. This will probably be the last season I really, going into it, this was like, okay, let's go out with a bang. This will probably be the last season that I really watch and appreciate. Moving forward as Liam Hemsworth, we'll see how that goes. My personal take is when a show blows up like this one did, it's because all the pieces were there, right? Like if you're cooking something, you had all the right ingredients and it just turned out perfect. That's what this was. Henry Cavill embodied The Witcher, right? Geralt, that was him. That role was like made for him and it just worked so well. Liam Hemsworth, I'm still yet to see that. Whatever. I think that moving forward, even if the show is great, I think no matter what, it's going to be like you left out an ingredient, like the dish or whatever you're baking, just for that analogy, could turn out great. But if you forgot like eggs in a cake or salt or whatever the case may be, you're going to eat it and you're just going to be like, it's missing something. And that's, for me, that's going to take me out of the show. Seeing somebody else's face, other shows have done it, right? But it takes me out of it. And ultimately, for a lot of shows, it kind of becomes its downfall anyway. So that's what we might see with this show, is this might be the downfall of The Witcher, which sucks because it is a good show. Good game, good show. But that being said, back to the season 3, I had high hopes for it. Maybe I put it too high on a pedestal, but we've kind of seen a lot of awesome stuff so far, so I didn't feel like that was out of the realm of possibilities. And it's his last season. Let's go with a bang. So pretty much 1 through 5 is Yennefer, Tissaia, the whole group over there. They just want to have this conclave and get everybody together, and just have this like peace meeting. So nobody's at each other's throats, nobody's overstepping each other, and just kind of unite the nations, essentially. Just unite everybody. 1 through 5 is pretty much like them coming to this conclusion. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this conclave. It's Yennefer's idea. Let's give her a shot. So Tissaia looks at Yennefer like a daughter, so she really wanted her to have this moment and have this conclave and see if it'll work, because in the past conclaves they've always had an ulterior motive. Let's truly have one for peacekeeping and see if it works. Other than that, we know that there are people after Ciri. There's this guy who messes around with fire magic. He's after her, but he's got a boss. And so this sets, Geralt on this path of, well, let's just squash whoever's looking for Ciri. I want to keep her safe. All of what I just told you could have been condensed to 1 to 2 episodes. I'm sorry, it could have been. So that being said, I talked to people and they all kind of said the same thing. Like, really, what was 1 through 5? Kind of weird that you had a mid-season break right there, because nothing amazing happens other than the start of the conclave, and you start to see some shifty stuff going on, and it's like, ooh, at any moment all heck could break loose, and boom. And that's what's going to happen in episode 6. So again, could have condensed it to 2 episodes. It's sorry to sound like a broken record, but it is what it is. And so we have this mid-season break. Luckily, it wasn't too long that we had to wait. We come back, and this is where things get juicy. And I was like, thank you, Netflix. Thank you, the team that made The Witcher, because episode 6 gave me what I wanted, right? All hell breaks loose, right? The conclave does not go to plan because everybody, like always, goes there with ulterior motives, and ultimately, people want to destroy the Brotherhood. There's people that want Ciri. There's people that don't want Tissaia and all the mages in power and whatnot, and so it becomes this all-out brawl, and it's a beautiful episode, right? I'm not gonna spoil everything, but I do gotta mention that Tissaia, for one last, like stance or whatever, she summons lightning, Alzul's thunder, and what a sweet moment, beautiful, and just wreaks havoc. Go check out the episode 6. It's freaking sweet. Cool. Episode 6 happens. Beautiful episode. Love it. Could have used a lot more of that. So episode 7 happens, something entirely different than what we've seen, and it's super cool. So it starts off, Ciri's dropped into this desert. This is like the first time she's she's truly all alone. There's nobody that can come to her aid. This episode tests her like something we've never seen before. Like, she is struggling. She's hallucinating. She's dehydrated. She's starving. She's getting beaten down psychologically. She's hallucinating. She's kind of having, she's having these moments of clarity, though, too, and closure, because in her hallucinations, she's seeing people like her mother, her grandma, and she's getting to have conversations she didn't get to have that she was robbed of. And so it's kind of like, as she's getting beaten down, she's finding herself out in the desert, and she's getting to do the things that she's wanted to do to grow and move on as a person. So that's really cool. But she also meets Falca, right? This elf who does fire magic and whatnot. She's seeing her. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But it's also another character that's helping Ciri grow, whether it's good or bad, because she's pushing her towards fire magic. And Ciri, I think she's desperate for anything. She just wants out of the desert. She wants to be with Geralt. Yennefer wants water and food. And so she takes on fire magic, uses it to heal this unicorn. I'm kind of giving you bullet points, but you can definitely watch 6, 7, and 8. Great episodes, 1 through 5. Just watch what I told you about episode 1 through 5, and you pretty much seen it. So episode 7, it is an amazing ride. You are just watching Ciri get beaten down and built back up into something that is going to be so great. And I honestly can't wait to see that unfold. So that being said, brings us to episode 8. And I was like, okay, we have Geralt, who is beaten up badly. Dude's going to die. And they have him over in Broccolin, which is the Forest of Death. But we've seen that when Ciri went there, the forest people and whatnot, they, helps her out. Well, they're also helping Geralt out, trying to heal him and stuff. But the magic that they have won't heal him. And they even mentioned that he's not hurt, he's dying and whatnot. And he needs different magic, he needs somebody more powerful. And we ultimately see Yennefer help him out there, which is cool. But we cut back to Ciri, and we see her bound up, and ultimately we get to see her take a life. This is the first life she's ever taken. And here's where I'm like, what the heck's happening? Because this is the last moment of episode 8. So let me just tell you, let me wrap this up really quickly. So Geralt gets healed by Yennefer, leaves Broccolin with Jaskier. Yennefer is in charge of the Brotherhood because somebody dies, and I won't say who, but you probably already know. And so you have Yennefer in charge of the Brotherhood. It's probably called something else now at this point. You have the Geralt that's healed up, looking and now on a mission to go find Ciri because he has heard she's been taken and whatnot. And then you have Ciri, who got captured, kind of, and breaks free and gets her first fight, right? So episode 7, we saw her consume fire magic. We saw her kind of evolve a little bit, and we get to see this cool battle that it surrounds her. But then we get to see her take a life. But no fire magic was used, whatever. And the very last scene of this episode is her saying, "Call me Falca." So it's like that moment is like, whoa. She's been kind of having to choose sides, right? Yennefer's been teaching her the way of the mage. Geralt's been teaching her the ways of the Witcher. And you can tell she kind of just doesn't feel like she knows who she is or what she wants to be. Well, that meeting with Falca in the desert on the brink of death kind of gave her that clarity. And she was like, this is who I want to be. This strong, powerful woman, this is who I want to be. And so that's the path, unfortunately, of fire magic, which is forbidden. Whatever. She's also supposed to be the person that's supposed to change the world. So I'm sure the logic is, well, fire magic usually leads people down a path of darkness and whatnot and destruction. Maybe not her. Maybe she was the one that was meant to consume this type of power and do good with it. Sure, she kind of has like a Khaleesi moment in this season where she gets confirmation that she is supposed to change the world by none other than Falca, though. So who knows, which path Falca's actually trying to lead her on. Here's my gripe, though. I'm sorry. It's just I'm full of them on this one. And I wish Colby was here to share this with me. But, okay, this is Henry Cavill's last season. We see him get brutally, broken down to where he's pretty much going to die. We only have these 3 episodes, right? 1 through 5 junk. Those happened. Whatever. Now all my eggs are in the basket for 6, 7, 8, and I'm just hoping something amazing happens for this last hurrah for Geralt or Henry Cavill. But no, nothing. Nobody gets like these fantastic moments. We see all this stuff getting set up, right? There's this. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Vilgefortz, right? So Tisea is in love with this guy, Vilgefortz, at the Brotherhood and whatnot. Ultimately, he becomes the bad guy, and he just wants to capture Ciri and give her to this kingdom, so she can rule and whatnot. But he's struggling to do that. So ultimately, he kind of makes some mock series to fool a king later on. But you gotta see the episode. So we're seeing all these things get all these pieces in play for something amazing to happen, but nothing happens. Nothing happens. The season finale felt like that should have been the mid-season break. The way it ended like it was just going to be a pause in time. Hold on, we're going to tease you and dangle this string in front of you, and in a few weeks, you're going to get the epic conclusion, the finale. And I was doing some digging online. There's a lot of people that kind of feel this way too. So I am not alone. The mid-season finale that we got was confusing. The season finale we got felt like a mid-season finale. There is no grand hurrah for Geralt. And what's confusing is episode 8 really could have been his last hurrah. And I could have seen how they would transition him to Liam Hemsworth. He's on the brink of death at Broccolin. Leave him there then, right? Leave him on the brink of death. And then on the next season, make up some BS excuse where the only way you could save him was to, I don't know, harness his energy and put it into somebody else's body or, some BS, right? Something where it kind of makes sense. But no, they made him healthy. They got him healthy again. And right when he goes to start his quest for finding Ciri, it's over. You just brought this guy from death to alive, stronger than ever. You see him fighting, training, all this stuff. He even takes on all these guards and stuff, and he's just kicking butt. So he is in perfect form. And then, goodbye. Welcome, Liam Hemsworth. It's so confusing. We see Ciri's story arc go from her deciding whether I want to be a witcher or whether I want to be a mage to being broken down and brought back as this flame, Falca. But you're not going to get to see any of it. Yennefer has her story arc, right, in the Brotherhood. People die. She ends up in charge. But her goal still is to take down Vilgefortz. You don't see any of it. Vilgefortz himself becomes this just giant character in this season, destroys everything anybody has ever known or loved. Everybody Everybody is after him, but you don't see any of it. There's so many things that like this entire season builds up and you don't see any of it. You don't get to see any of it. This entire season felt like setup episodes for obviously next season. But it's just like, we only get 8 episodes. We always only get 8 episodes. Season 1, 2, 3 are all 8 episodes. But they've always had a plot and a resolution, right? There's always been story, like character development, story arcs that rise and fall, or fall then rise. And we got the story side, but that's all we got the character side, but that's all we got. So this season was just very confusing. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I like it. Actually, I don't like this season. And I guess we'll see what happens in the next season with Liam Hemsworth. I'm at a loss because I really love The Witcher and I wanted Henry Cavill to have this last hurrah, this big bang, but that's never going to happen. And it's unfortunate, and we'll see, we'll see what Netflix has to give us on season 4. I don't know. I think this is I think it's kind of over for The Witcher. But I don't know. Maybe that's me looking at the glass half empty. I'm just bummed because it is a great show. And I'm sorry to leave it on a doom and gloom note. But let me know what you guys thought about The Witcher Season 3. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you like about it? Are you bummed to see Henry Cavill go? And do you think Liam Hemsworth will do a good job in this upcoming season? Fire off down below and send Colby some love. Let him know that you missed him. He couldn't be here this week. We miss him. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.